Walker.
Lizards. I mean, kids.
Stand down and surrender.
Giving redundant commands.
This doesn't have to get any uglier than it already is.
Saying this when we all know how dedicated the show is to animated gore.
Darkwing not coming? Red Rush?
Martian Man's helping Dark Blood.
This banter could and should have occurred before or after the battle. This is primarily here to let the viewer know who is and isn't coming to this dinner party.
I'm not gonna make it, am I?
Well, given that we haven't seen you at all in present-day Invincible, I'm gonna say your chances aren't great, Polly. Show will keep us in suspense about why Nolan doesn't pursue this car. By suspense, I mean it never comes up again.
Bring my specimen back.
Title of my sex tape? Driving without a license plate.
We can take it from here, Mr.
Dr. Brandyworth. The child about to be born is unique in every conceivable way.
Saying something vague like this instead of giving actual helpful scientific facts for the ER doctors. Also, there's something to be said about how the two doctors manage to spend more time arguing than caring for their patient who will die in a moment. I think there's a malpractice suit in here and it's never pursued.
We all thought she was gone, but she came back to us. All on her own. We don't know how, but she did.
Seems like y'all could have made a better lie than that. Come up with some medical explanation. This is just one step away from somehow Palpatine returned.
Our Samantha Eve Wilkins.
Let this be a lesson that a proper role commercials is just as much about the tone of delivery as it is about uttering the right Patronus. You got embarrassed by your child staring at the floor? Kids do way more embarrassing stuff than that. Have you never seen a child with Tootsie Rolls stuffed into each nostril? The periodic table of no elements. How in the world is this painting missing its Christina?
Oh, she's not gifted. She's just weird.
You can be both. Never got the need for characters to start dealing in absolutes like a Sith every time a show needs to drum up some tension. Dr. Brandyworth thinks creepy stalking is protecting, a tactic that goes on far too long and is way more successful than it should have been. In a perfect world, he gets arrested long before he even has the opportunity to help Eve.
He can barely keep his skin on his bones.
Damn, Lance Reddick is just such a commanding presence, whether he's checking assassins into a hotel or running a top-secret military research division. So here's a sin for the universe, for taking him away from us too soon.
I want the ability to change reality. I want death on command. I want powerful beyond measure.
The inside of a man's mind while he's thinking about the Roman Empire somehow makes it into the episode.
And if I don't see something different soon, you go on the tube next.
Forcing people to go to London. That's a fate worse than Boston. But it's still not Cleveland. Suck it, Ohio. Her mom pieces out, just leaving her in the car, so she can forge a friendship for the sole reason of tearing our hearts out later in the episode. Negligent parenting is responsible for all the saddest plot points. The reflection of the stop sign changing colors is a very confusing safety concern. Cheps.
They just want a normal kid who does her piano lessons and gets straight A's and stuff.
If that's normal, then I'm not normal. And I am absolutely, completely, and unequivocally normal.
Dare freaks, look at yourself.
Letting this abusive trash man survive Omni-Man, alien invasions, detonating houses, weekly supervillains, and more. We let him take Pluto, and now Neptune has gotten the boot too. Uranus better watch its back. These special effects are doing little to make math not math. Meanwhile, on Stargate.
Change back, change!
This works, despite Eve having no idea what she did in the first place. There was a fair chance the book turned into a lobster roll after all that.
Normal people aren't supposed to be able to do things like that.
Oh, f*** off, show. Like anyone's best friend would actually say this instead of immediately asking them to turn their pocket change into gold doubloons so they could buy everything like that kid did in Blank Check.
Remember to write a thank you note to Aunt Penny.
Stealing your jokes from A Christmas Story. All of the universe is at your fingertips, and you transform this outfit into a tank top and jeans? Guess youth and superpowers are both wasted on the young. Now that we know she can make her clothes into whatever she wants, was there really any need for this first iteration supersuit thing that comics think is a necessary part of character development? This whole scene is like when Invincible first used his powers, but cooler. But it's also now a cliche.
Why stealing dogs?
Because no one gives a shit about dogs.
Have you met anyone? Everyone loves dogs. Some people love dogs more than they love other people, which I understand, because they're dogs.
Buzz off, Powerpuff.
Did he really think that was going to work on the person who just flew in on a glowing pink disc?
Hard pass, creep.
I'm not here to hurt you.
This works on the person who just flew in on a glowing pink disc.
And now you eat out of dumpsters.
The judgments of a person who's never found themselves behind a Krispy Kreme at closing time. Sure, the manager might spray you with a hose or throw a bug bomb, but if you're strong enough, it's totally worth it.
Nice soul patch, bro.
Thanks.
Makes your face extra punchable.
Hey, not nice.
The name's Kill Cannon.
Eve will fight Kill Cannon, not because she has to, but because it's more fun than just making his helmet really heavy, even though that worked really well on the dog robbers. Also making a discount Captain America shield instead of turning his cannon into a bubble gun, a marshmallow gun, or a gun that shoots out affirming compliments about people's personalities.
You're just not made for this.
I literally was.
Adam Eve would be excellent at TVSins.
Samantha,
How do you keep doing that?
I have a lot of time on my hands.
But do you have super speed too? Because you're keeping up with someone literally flying around the city.
Trade you a burger for some answers.
If you can transmute matter, do you ever really need to go to a Burger Mart ever again?
Fall back and, form a perimeter or something.
We'll fall back and form a perimeter.
Stealing your jokes from the Avengers and Star Wars.
Who are you?
You don't know?
One would assume that's why she asked the question.
You're phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. Each attempt less successful than the last, but all one big happy family.
Marvel being honest about the trajectory of the MCU while bragging about its continuity somehow makes it into the episode. Okay, this fight is f***ing amazing, emotionally brutal, and brings the full promise of what I've come to love about Invincible. Even my grumpy ass has to take this sin off. I don't doubt Eve can do all this in her head, but who taught her how to fight like this? Having the ability to change matter is one thing, but learning how to dodge, counterattack, and all this other shit without any training seems a bit far-fetched. Eve will now use her Pink Lantern powers to create an Iron Man suit, and I'm beginning to wonder if all of reality is derivative. Of all the amazing abilities Eve has, I'm not sure which one should have stopped all her bones from breaking when she hit that barrier. I'll buy it just because she seems pretty all-powerful, but a little help in understanding the limits of this character would be nice.
What are you doing? We're going to die!
It'll be worth it to see the light drain from your perfect eyes.
Siblings. I guess she's the one who can change the simulation as she sees fit. Honestly, seems like in choosing the name Adam Eve, she accidentally alluded to the wrong testament. I have to sin the cops for not setting up a perimeter, only because they said they were setting up a perimeter.
We'll fall back and form a perimeter.
Come on, guys, don't make promises you can't keep. He could barely keep his skin on his bones sitting in the lab. What makes him suddenly able to withstand a giant explosion and walk out like nothing happened? I call bullshit on this road being traversable in any way that would have allowed Brandyworth to get here in a car. For all the heroes this show has established, not a single one shows up to the disaster that this highway has become.
They can change into things, alter their bodies. I can't do any of that.
They wanted you to be a perfect weapon, but even I have a conscience.
You two do not have time for this discussion.
They killed themselves, trying to hurt me.
Well, actually, you killed some of them, and Dr. Brandyworth killed one with his car. Phase 2 was the only one who technically killed himself. Giving the doctor the old blunt force scene transition. Also, we see him being knocked out, so it's weird to wake up here from Eve's perspective. These restraints are so easily defeated, the show tried to rationalize it based on...
I told you those restraints were theoretical.
And not the fact that the show needed to be wrapped up in 5 minutes.
Oh, God, she's alive. Technically alive. We didn't get her back up and running in time to save her from massive brain damage. But, well, we both know she only had one use anyway.
Damn, this episode's depressing. I mean, it gives Adam Eve's character a ton of new depth, but damn.
You murdered my whole family.
Eve, calm down.
Does he really think such a command would work?
And where have you been?
Being angry with this hat on.
Hey, like it or not, we're the only family you've got.
I know Omni-Man was a homicidal maniac, but for 17 years of Mark's life, he was still a better father than what Eve got. That's how much I hate Eve's adopted dad. Is she a generative AI? Otherwise, I don't know how she so quickly came up with what her siblings would have looked like if they were born healthy and normal.
Dad, look, I'm gonna be... Your foster parents are kind of dicks, huh?
I'm not gonna make it, am I? I can feel it.
Are you just gonna stand there? Do something!
I made you, Samantha.
You banged Mom?
But you didn't listen to me.
You think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
Fall back and, form a perimeter or something.
We don't need so-called superheroes. What Empire City needs is more cops. And a Hooters.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
I'm sorry.
Start? I don't feel so good.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Oh, you are back, Dr. Brandyworth.